Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Unlikely. Happy to say that in moments we'll be joined by WWE Hall of Famer joining us on behalf of WWE 2K25 and the Saturday night main event pack, which will put you in the ring with legends like Jesse Ventura, Mr. Wonderful, JYD, Junkyard Dog, Sid Justice, and the WWE Hall of Famer that I mentioned, who's won the ECW Intercontinental Tag Team, a King of the Ring winner. You may know him as Richard Blood, but I call him Mr. Tito Santana. So first and foremost, Tito, thank you for joining us. And if I could, my first question is this: is it safe to say that you had the best hair of your generation, sir?
Well, I don't know about that, but thank you.
Of course, it was just my opinion. I wanted to get a little bit of confirmation, but that's okay. I do want to ask you, when it comes to the game and you being in WWE 2K25, have you been able to see your entrance yet, sir?
Yes, I have, and it's unbelievable. I mean, they did a fantastic job.
It's fantastic, and I do have to ask you, when you go back to your generation, what was that first moment for you that really, like, because to me, if I'm in a video game, I'm feeling like, damn, I finally made it. For you back in your era, what was that first moment for you?
Well, I came from a little town called Mission, Texas. Population was 14,000. And when I stepped into Madison Square Garden for the very first time and got into the middle of the ring and just looked around, and I just thought to myself, my brothers and sisters, my mom, they're going to be able to see me. I thought to myself, I made it. And I made it on my own. Like, I didn't have a brother or a dad that was in the wrestling business. I made it on my own.
It's a beautiful thing. And I do have to ask you, too, is one of the things that I find most impressive about you is not necessarily the matches that you've had, but to me, throughout your career and throughout the success and the ups and downs that someone has in their career and their life, is how you kept to being so grounded. And being on the road can lead to a lot of paths. We know that when it comes to the wrestling business. But for you, what do you credit that to be so grounded throughout your career?
Well, coming from migrant workers, as a young kid, started working on the fields. We'd go from Texas up north and work on the fields. And, family was very important, and how hard we worked for the dollar. And then once I started making money, and, I'd see some of my friends, just going through money like it was going to last forever, and I knew it wasn't going to last forever. And I just didn't want to take away from my family, me blowing money away. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, and I do have to ask you, last time we saw you on WWE TV, ironically, because we're talking about the Saturday night main event pack on WWE 2K25, was that Saturday night main event last year. Right. For you to get back and just to be around, how was that experience?
Well, it was an unbelievable experience. Everybody in this new company, they are so respectful, so much more respectful than what I remember from the old company. And they made not only myself, but Jesse the Body was there, Coco was there, Greg Valentine was there, and they made us feel so important. And then the way we were introduced to the crowd and the way the crowds received us that night, I mean, just letting us know that they are so grateful of what we did for the business. They appreciate, and they know that we were the pioneers, and we know we were the pioneers because we were driving up and down and wrestling 350 days a year, sacrificing our families and being on the road all the time. And, now I'm enjoying life and, able to relax and reap some of the good things in life.
It's a beautiful thing, and it's so well deserved, and it's why I love the fact that WWE 2K25 exists, because when this pack comes out on Wednesday, November 12th, there's going to be a kid who's going to get it, who's going to find you and be like, wait, who's this? What's this guy about? He's going to go on YouTube and see some of your matches and get the history lessons of where we are today by the steps that you guys laid for us. For you, when it comes to someone who's maybe watching this interview and has never seen a match of yours, if there is one match that says you watch this, you get what I'm about, what would that be?
Probably, I don't know that it was ever in Saturday night's main event, but I know I pretty much know that I did wrestle Greg the Hammer Valentine in a Saturday night main event. A match against Greg the Hammer Valentine, you know, when people saw our matches, a lot of them believed that what they were watching was real because it was pretty close to real. You know, we used to beat the hell out of each other. And
Yeah.
I used to come home and tell my wife, man, I said, I've had easier street fights. Greg the Hammer was a bull, man. You'd knock him down and he'd get up and he kept coming after you. And if you didn't duck him down, he would knock you down. You know, that would be one of the matches.
It's a beautiful thing. Selfishly, I do have to ask you, I know you got the chance to wrestle Andre the Giant. How was that experience?
Well, Andre the Giant was the eighth wonder of the world. I mean, you felt really small when you stepped into the ring with Andre the Giant. He could crush you at any moment. Luckily, Andre and I had become friends over the years, and he was such a professional. He would always make me look good before he beat me.
He was so kind. He's like, let's get you up.
Yeah.
No, I love that. When it comes to your flying forearm, back in the day, they would call it the flying burrito. But that flying forearm, where'd you learn that move? Because, sir, AJ Styles is one of my favorite wrestlers. You put a montage of you two together, and that's beautiful art.
Well, I used to do the flying body cross, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I instead of doing the flying body cross, I just said, "Let me try this," and I just gave somebody the flying forearm, and I used to be able to glide pretty good in the air because I was athletic, and everybody, you know, told me how good it looked. So I perfected it and just keep using it and, you know, made it into one of my finishes.
Yeah, it was very beautiful, still is to this day. And I want to close this out. Again, I mentioned earlier, one of the beauties of the game is that people are going to be able to wrestle with you and put you up against names that people didn't think would be possible, whether that's Roman Reigns or John Cena, Stone Cold, it doesn't matter. When it comes to this newer generation, if I said, hey, Tito, we're about to play this game, you get to pick your tag team partner, who are you choosing?
My tag team partner, I want to be teamed up with Mr. Wonderful. You know, I think him and I are going to beat up a bunch of people in this game, and I would like to have him as my partner.
There it is, and that'll be possible Wednesday, November 12th. The Saturday night main event pack will be released, WWE 2K25. Mr. Tito Santana, thank you so much for everything you've done in your career, and thank you for the time.
Thank you, Adrian.